Hello and welcome to this episode of Hampton Roads Business Live. My name is Rory Graham and I'm your host, and today I have the pleasure of having with me Jake Gildersleeve from the company Gildersleeve right here in Hampton Roads. It's a pleasure having you here.
Good morning.
Can you give us an overview of what your company does? It does a lot of things, and I know we're going to kind of particularly hone in on one of them today, but what does your company do?
Yeah, well, traditionally we had been water well drilling, yard well systems, drinking water systems, water treatment, sprinkler systems. That have been our traditional core. But we'd always done water well work for geothermal systems. And we eventually have moved to the point now where we're doing probably 60–70% of our work is in the geothermal market, geothermal closed loop heating and cooling systems.
Okay, all right. So you just mentioned closed loop. Can you tell us exactly what does the term geothermal mean? Because you hear that on commercials, probably yours, all the time. But what does that term geothermal mean, and how does it compare to other type of systems?
Well, in conventional heating and cooling, we're working with outdoor temperatures, exchanging heat with outdoors or combustion. And with geothermal, we're taking the heat from the earth, and we move the heat from the earth to your home, or we take the heat in your home, we move it to the earth. It's via a ground condenser, if you want to call it that. We're basically building a loop system in the ground that will exchange the heat.
So the heat is in the water?
The heat is in the ground. What we want to do is move the heat from the ground via the water into your home.
Okay, so the water absorbs the heat
yeah, the medium we're using to transfer is actually water, then to refrigerant into your home.
I see. Okay. All right. Well, that's interesting. And is that the only type of system that you all offer?
As far as heating and cooling?
Yeah.
Now, we'll do conventional heating and cooling also.
Okay.
People are trained to do any type of heating and cooling. But our primary focus is geothermal. But it's not for everyone. There are people who are either not going to be able to afford it or feel like they can't afford it, especially from the upfront cost. Or the application doesn't necessarily fit. They don't have room for the loops in their yard and that sort of thing.
Is geothermal pretty cost effective as far as reducing, your energy costs?
It's the most cost effective. I mean, we're working with equipment that's between 400% and 500% efficient, which, any gas furnace out there can't exceed 100% efficient. And your typical heat pump is going to be less than 200% efficient. So we're working with something that's going to make free hot water pretty much all summer as a side note to geothermal, and then also heat and cool the house at 400% to 500% efficient.
Okay, well, it's good to know, especially with the rising heating and rising energy costs today.
Today's cost, it's a benefit.
And it's not going to get any better, okay? No. All right, so what brand of geothermal do you use? Is there just one brand? Or?
We use Climate Master equipment, and we're a GeoElite Climate Master dealer, which we're the only one in the whole Hampton Roads area that has that designation. Allows us to offer certain things, and it's just a level of training and a level of equipment installation that we've done. We've been doing this a long time, long before it was any tax credit or much promotion for it out there. I've been working with water source equipment since I was in my teens.
Yeah, I have some of your pumps at my house.
So we've definitely installed a lot of it.
Yeah. You mentioned tax credits. Is there any tax credits available for this?
The federal government still has a 30% tax credit. It's been in place essentially since 2007. It really went to the full 30% in 2008. And that's still there until January 1st, 2016. You can utilize that tax credit.
Okay, well, that's quite a saving.
It's a tremendous savings.
Yeah, and your return on investment you mentioned, is really good.
Well, if you're in a position to have to replace your system, and you're looking at a conventional system versus geothermal, that 30% tax credit's pretty much going to take up most of that cost difference. So it's a net, really no time to get your return on investment because you've got to spend the money anyway. Now, if you're taking a perfectly good system out and replacing it with geothermal, most of the time your return on investment is going to be in the neighborhood of 5 years.
Okay. All right. Well, that's good to know too. All right. So now we talked about geothermal. Is there some new products on the horizon for Gildersleeve?
Some really interesting stuff coming out with Climate Master's got a new Trilogy 45. It's a 45 EER unit. It'll be the most efficient unit on the planet at that point. It'll make all your hot water, it'll do all your heating and cooling. It's a very interesting piece of equipment coming along, and I will be installing one this fall as a prototype, and I would think that possibly by the first of the year we'll really have them ready to go for everyone.
Now you mentioned twice that it makes your hot water. Does this replace your hot water heater?
The new one will. The new one comes with its own hot water heater. But the current systems, it will make hot water during the summertime when we're taking the heat from your home and rejecting it to the ground.
Right.
At that point, we reject it basically into your hot water heater all summer.
Okay.
And by preheating your hot water, the system's going to save you tremendously on your hot water costs.
Your gas bill. Virginia natural gas will love that, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And I already asked you about installing the conventional heating and cooling, so you do regular systems as well. All right. So are you still installing the water pumps that we mentioned? I have.
Yes, we do it every day. People
you
still
do?
ask, you
Okay.
still drilling wells? Or
Yeah.
certainly, we drill wells every day, we install pumps, many of them every day. We have service crews out, servicing and installing new ones, drilling crews out. It's a busy business.
Well, I know you got, it's a big business that you have. What is the easiest way for people to find out more about this? I know they can go to your website. We're going to give them the address in a minute. But do they just make a phone call and you come out and talk with them? Do you have to go see their system?
That's the typical, it's very difficult to determine what someone needs over the phone. I always tell them it's like giving you a haircut over the phone. It's a little tough. So normally I'm the one that goes out and looks at almost every single job, and they call our office, talk to one of the ladies in the office, they'll set them up an appointment, I come out, there's no charge for the visit, and we come out and sit down and see what they need.
Okay.
We have a lot of things to offer.
All right. And yeah, it's not one size fits all. So, right?
Right.
I would assume that you
Well,
have many
these
different
are-
products for many different needs.
We do, and even within the geothermal realm, there's multiple levels of equipment that you can install, just like there is in any standard heat pump. You start at the 20 EER level and go all the way up to the 30 EER level.
Okay.
So there's a lot of things to go over. Plus, we look intensely at the ductwork, the infrastructure, the whole heating system to see what needs to be addressed to make it as efficient as possible.
Now, your company's been around a long time.
Yes, my granddad started back
Three
in
generations. then.
1939 was my granddad.
Wow.
Went into
Well,
business.
you got me beat.
No.
So, not quite that long. But
About 75 years of being in the mechanical business.
yeah. And what would you say? I mean, there are gobs of, that's a technical term, gobs,
Yeah.
of heating and air conditioning companies out there. I mean, it's like every day I see a different one. What sets you apart? What would you say is one of the things that really sets you apart?
We've always emphasized quality in everything that we do, customer service, and trying to put the best system we can possibly put in the best fashion that it can go in. We've got state-of-the-art software for tracking customers and tracking our service agreements and being able to maintain what we do install, as well as providing good service and timely service for new customers and existing customers.
Okay. Was there anything that I haven't covered that you would like to mention? I did a pretty good job.
I think you did a pretty good job. We've hit on just about everything.
I think so. I got my list there, and I've covered them all. So I think we're doing pretty good. All right. Well, if you are considering a new air conditioning and heating system for your home, or you've got one that you'd like them to take a look at, or you need a well even, you could give Gildersleeve a call. They've been around a long time, obviously doing something right, or a lot of things right. And you can give them a call or contact them at the information at the bottom of this page and at the end of this video. It's been a pleasure having you in here today, and I thank you for coming in, and I wish you a great deal of success.
Thank you.
Thank you.